All right, our last topic of the day was one we talked about here with the Paramount releases, and that was the fact that Star Trek is now getting another film releasing in June of 2023. And this comes to us directly from the Star Trek website, StarTrek.com. Um, the report for the new Untitled Star Trek 4 or Untitled Star Trek, we don't know what's going to be. This is what they wrote about it on the website. This will be the first new Star Trek film since the last installment in the Kelvinverse series, Star Trek Beyond director Justin Lin's 2016 installment. As of now, there is no official information concerning the director of this latest movie, nor do we know whether or not we'll be exploring more of the Kelvinverse, perhaps pick up from where Star Trek Nemesis left off with the Next Generation films, or if the film will follow a new plot entirely through the Prime timeline. So, they've announced a film. Now, I'm sure Paramount has an idea where they want to take this. They're just not telling us yet, which that's fine. It's still 3 years or 2 years away. I'm sorry, a little over 2 years away. So Paramount don't have to tell us any information about this yet. I mean, but the fact that another Star Trek film is coming, it's great to hear. I know for a long time Star Trek 4, the continuation of Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and that crew, the 2009 version, the James or J.J. Abrams version, have been that was heavily rumored to continue. But with the unfortunate death of the actor who played Chekhov, Anton Yelkin, I believe was his name. I don't know if that maybe they've kind of thought, okay, maybe we won't do that now. I mean, they did get a trilogy of films, so that film ended good enough, I thought, to where that could be the last one. That'd be okay. I always thought it would be kind of interesting to maybe do another film with that crew, and then maybe you jump forward in time or something and maybe reintroduce the Next Generation crew, but with different actors. You could do that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe people would care for that. Maybe that's just me, but I thought it'd be kind of an interesting concept. But yeah, this film could take place. I mean, the one thing about Star Trek, which I'm a fan of, I'm not as big of a fan of Star Trek as I am Star Wars. I'm more of a Star Wars guy, but I love both. But with Star Trek, I have been noticing, especially if you have the Paramount Plus app now, they have been ramping up their TV series again. I mean, in full force. And I mean, everything from Star Trek Discovery got the ball rolling. Then Star Trek Picard. First season was great, by the way, of Star Trek Picard. I've yet to see Star Trek Discovery. I need to get caught up on some of this stuff. But they have now announced they're spinning off some of that stuff from Discovery into Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Star Trek Prodigy is an animated series they're doing, starring the captain from Voyager, Janeway. And they're also doing an animated show, Lower Decks. And I believe they even had plans for a Section 31, like a Black Ops type series from Star Trek as well. So on the TV side of things, it's kind of like Star Wars a little bit, to where they're expanding their universe on television, and which is definitely boosting Paramount Plus. I mean, 'cause that's their major franchise on Paramount Plus, in my opinion. It's basically, to me, the Star Trek app. I mean, they've got other things as well, and I'm sure we'll get more Paramount properties on there as we roll on here. But to me, it was like, okay, they're finally starting to focus on their universe, because there was a time there after the J.J. Abrams reboot films that they kind of like, okay, what are we doing? They took time off, and it just felt like Star Trek faded away for a while. But Star Trek has always lived on television, so this, I mean, for the most part, I mean, they've had their films clearly. But none of them have been like Marvel level successful. They've not even been Star Wars level successful. They've made some money, but they're not, as well received as some of the other major franchises. But from what I can tell, they are definitely putting their best foot forward with the franchise moving forward, and I think that's great. So I'm very intrigued to see where this film will tie into all this. Again, they could very well be branching out. Maybe they may be trying to tie all this stuff together, just like everybody else is doing with all their franchises. So we'll see where they go with it. But yeah, I'd be very intrigued if this continues after the Star Trek Nemesis Next Generation films, because that's where Picard takes place. Like 30 years after Next Generation, or 20 years, something like that. I think it's 20 years actually. Or we could get the continuation of the Abrams verse. Now, I think I did hear that this film will be produced by J.J. Abrams, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to follow the Kelvin timeline. But even Picard references the Kelvin timeline because it does, in a way, take place in the Prime timeline as well, but then spins off into its own timeline. So there are events from the J.J. Abrams movie, or at least the first film, that affects Picard and some of these other Prime timeline shows. So, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think this new movie will be great? Do you guys think Star Trek is kind of played out? Or I don't think so. I think Star Trek will be around forever. I mean, I like the series and shows. I need to get caught up on all the series. I've not watched all of them all the way through. There's a lot of episodes, so one of these days I plan on doing that. Hey everybody, I hope you liked this video. Did you like what you saw here? If you did, I hope you will comment below. Let me know what you thought of whatever I discussed here today. Also, hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell on the channel as well so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content. Also, you can find me, Eric Hopkins, at EricJel on Twitter. It's at ERICJEL, Gel with the J. Also, you can find me on the 3-Star Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at 3-Star Pod and on Twitter at 3-Star Podcast 1. We discuss all sorts of things over there, from all sorts of topics like pro wrestling, video games, movies, sports, just whatever we feel like talking about. We always try to have a good time. Me and a group of guys over there, we enjoy doing our shows weekly, and usually we'll talk about just whatever comes to our head. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, take care.